This conference will now be recorded.
In the previous session, we started discussing about workflows, and the definition of the workflow is while creating a record or updating a record. Okay, not for deletion, just remember, not for deletion. Okay, while creating a record or updating a record. If and in any object, whether it is a standard object or custom object, whatever the record we are creating, right, that record it will satisfy the condition. Here what is the condition means, based on requirement, our requirement, we will add the condition. Okay, then we are expecting from the system it will perform below actions automatically. One is email alert. Already we discussed this email alert. It will send automatically an email alert. Okay, and the next one is we discussed another action, that is nothing but field update. Today we are going to discuss remaining action. One is outbound message. Okay, the third action is nothing but outbound message. Okay, outbound message, outbound message. Before going into outbound message, I will give some information. Okay, I will give some information. So we are working in Salesforce, right? We are working in Salesforce, means our system is Salesforce system. Okay, our system is Salesforce system. This is Salesforce system. Okay, I am trying to creating one account record. We are trying to creating one account record. How we will create an account record? Go to account to tab, go to account to tab, click on the account to tab and enter all the details and enter all the details and click on the save button, means account record it will create, right? So we are working with the Salesforce system. In the Salesforce system, we are trying to creating one account record, not only account record, any record. Here our requirement is an account object. So we are trying to creating one account record. How we will create an account record? Go to the account to tab, go to the account to tab, click on this new button and enter all the details. Click on the save button, means account record it will create, right? Now my requirement is we want to send these account record details. We want to send these account record details to the external system. External system is nothing but another system. Another system. Okay. Ours is a Salesforce system, right? Ours is Salesforce system, right? So we are working with the Salesforce language, Salesforce, right? That's why we will call it as a Salesforce system. This is another system. This is another system. This system is developed by using Java or or SAP or Oracle Oracle. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Any system, any system. Our target is we are trying to creating one account record in the Salesforce. That account record details we want to send to Excel system. That Excel system is developed by using any programming language. It doesn't require for us. It doesn't require. Our target is send account details to the external system. Send account details to the external system. So to send these account details to the external system, there are two ways are there. There are two ways. Okay. So by using by you I mean by directly we are trying to sending, directly we are trying to sending, I mean directly we are trying to connecting to the external system and we are sending our details. Okay, directly we are connecting. This is our Salesforce system. This is external system. We are directly connecting to the external system. We are directly connecting to the external system and we are trying to sending. This is one way. This is one way. The second way is instead of directly connecting to the external system, in between there is another application. There is another software. That is software, technically we will call it as a middleware. That is software, technically we will call it as a middleware. So from the Salesforce we will pass our data to the middleware, not external system. Not external system. In this case I will pass my data to the middleware. Middleware is nothing but another application, another software, another software. Instead of directly sending our account record to the external system, we will send it to the middleware. So at the same time the external system is also connected to the middleware. The external system also connected to the middleware. So it will receive the data. It will receive the data. So to send the data from the Salesforce to the external system, there are two ways are there. Directly we will send the data, or in between any middleware is there. Directly we will send the data, or in between any middleware is there. Here we are directly sending the data from the Salesforce to the external system. Whenever we are directly sending the data from the Salesforce to the external system, we will just go and use programming. We will just go and use programming like REST API or SOAP API. We will just go and use it. Okay, we will go with the programming. Suppose we want to send the data directly from the Salesforce to the external system, and in between there is no middleware, then how we will send is nothing but by using programming, that is nothing but REST API or SOAP API. Okay, REST API or SOAP API. Suppose we want to send the data by using middleware, then we are going with the workflow outbound message. Workflow outbound message. Once again, ours is a Salesforce system, and another end we have another system. That another system, technically we will call it as a external system or destination system. Our target is we want to send the data from the Salesforce to the external system. Okay, that is our target. While sending the data, you want to send it directly to the external system, or in between any software is there, or in between any software is there. Any software in the sense means technically we will call it as a middleware. Suppose we want to send the data directly to the external system, then how we will send? We have to go with the programming. Programming is nothing but by using REST API or SOAP API. Okay, that is one case. Suppose there is a middleware is there. Middleware. What do you mean by middleware? So these two systems directly they will not connect. Directly they will not connect. So instead of that, what they will do? The source system, Salesforce system, they will connect to the middleware. So at the same time, external system, it will also connect to the middleware. So we are sending the data to the middleware. From this middleware, it will receive, the external system, it will receive. This middleware tools, lot of middleware tools are there in the market. Lot of middleware tools are there. TIPCO is one middleware tool. Oracle Service Bus is middleware tool. Cast iron is one middleware tool. Informatic also we will use as a middleware tool. Lot of middleware tools are there. Lot of middleware tools are there. Whenever we are using middleware and we want to send the data from the Salesforce to the external system, in between middleware is there, then we have to go with the workflow outbound message. Workflow outbound message. And here you have to observe. So when we will send the data directly to the external system, means that is not in our hand. Our clients will decide. But once account record has been created, then directly you have to send the data to the external system. Our clients will decide. We will not decide. So in another case coming into here, this case also our clients will decide. Two systems are there, right? Two systems, when they will use middleware, I mean, why they are going into the middleware is, before going into our workflow outbound message, I will give some other concept. Okay, I will give some other information related to middleware. Generally, why they are using middlewares? Okay, why they are using middlewares to connect to two systems is, for example, my system is Salesforce system, right? See here, my system is Salesforce system. Okay, this is my Salesforce system. Okay, this is my Oracle system. Assume that this is my Salesforce system and this is my Oracle system. Suppose we are trying to sending the data directly from Salesforce to Oracle system. There is no middleware. Directly we are trying to sending. Okay, so our setup is ready. We wrote programming in the Salesforce. We wrote our programming to send the data. At the same time, Oracle level also we wrote our programming and it will receive the data, and in between we have to do some setup, right? Okay, we have to do some setup, means we have to connect these two systems, then we want to send the data from the Salesforce. So then Oracle system, it will take that data, and Oracle system, it will convert into Oracle programming language, right? Ours is a Salesforce, right? Apex programming. Oracle is Oracle programming language, right? Suppose I will send my data in a Salesforce format, Oracle system, it will not understand, right? So there is some message formats are there. What I am trying to say is, source system is Salesforce system, destination system is Oracle system. In between there is no middleware. In between there is no middleware. We are trying to sending the data from Salesforce to Oracle. Suppose we want to send the data to the from Salesforce to the Oracle. What are the pre-required things? Means we have to make connection between these two systems. And the second point is ours is Apex programming language. Salesforce programming language, we will call it as Apex. This is Oracle programming language. So how we will send the data, how we will convert our Apex programming into Oracle programming? Some message formats are there. So that is also one issues, right? That is also one setup we should need, right? So everything is fine. So we transfer the data, we send the data from Salesforce to Oracle, and everything is running fine. After 1 year or 2 years, sometimes our clients what they will decide is, but we will change our Oracle system. I don't want Oracle. At the destination part, I don't want to Oracle. I want to change my system into SAP system. Okay, so whatever the Oracle is there, right? Now I want to convert into SAP. So I don't want some issues, some reasons. So he said, I don't want the destination system should not be Oracle. I want to convert from Oracle to SAP. Then in this case, what we have to do? Again we have to make connection here, right? Again we have to, this is a Salesforce programming language, and this is SAP programming language, right? SAP programming, again we have to convert into SAP programming language, right? So a lot of issues are there, right? Lot of issues are there, right? Whenever there is no middleware, and we are trying to connecting from Salesforce to the from source system to the destination system, sometimes they will change the destination system completely. They will change, they will migrate from Oracle to SAP. They will migrate from Oracle to SAP. That time our integration part also impact, right? Our integration part also, we have to connect again to the SAP system, again convert Apex programming language into SAP programming language, right? So an entire system we have to change it, right? So then middleware concept came into picture. Then here middleware concept came into picture. So for example, coming into here, this is my Salesforce system. Okay, this is my Salesforce system. This is my Oracle system. What my client said, so instead of directly transferring the data from Salesforce to Oracle, we will use middleware. We will use middleware. So Salesforce system, it will connect to the middleware. Once connected, then it will send the data to the middleware. It will not directly connecting to the Oracle. There is no connection from source system to the destination system. Only it will connect with the middleware. So the destination system is Oracle or Java, it doesn't matter for us. So it will connect to the middleware. Middleware is nothing but Cashier and Tipco or some other software. It will connect to the middleware. Once connected, then it will send the data. At the same time, Oracle system, it will also connect to the middleware. So then it will take that data. Whether it is sending the data Salesforce system or some other system, it doesn't consider. The Oracle system, it will not consider. It will directly connect to the middleware. From the middleware, it will take the data. Here also Salesforce system also, it will connect to the middleware. Once connected, then it will send the data to the middleware. So there is no direct connection from Salesforce to Oracle. From Salesforce to Oracle. In between, middleware is there. So tomorrow, suppose my client wants, we want to shift from Oracle to SAP. I want to migrate from Oracle application to SAP. Is there any impact? Is there any impact in our Salesforce? There is no impact, right? So still it is middleware only, right? So our process is there is no impact. I will connect to the middleware. I will send the data to the middleware. So from SAP system is also what they will do. They will just connect and they will receive that data. They will receive that data. That's why middleware tools they are going to implement. So instead of directly sending from Salesforce to the external system, in between why middleware systems came into picture is nothing but this is the scenario. We are not sure external system it will change or source system it will change. We are not sure. Going forward, we are making our application loosely coupling. We are making our application loosely coupling. Suppose loosely coupling in the sense means, suppose I will remove this one. I want to connect with the Salesforce. Is there any impact at the Salesforce level? There is no impact, right? For example, at the Salesforce, I want to remove Salesforce. I want to send some other Java. Is there any impact at the Oracle system? So two applications are loosely coupling, right? One system I will change, there is no impact other end. Another system I will change, there is no impact from this end, right? So that is concept is nothing but loosely coupling. How we are making our applications as loosely coupling? So we are using middleware software. We are using middleware software. So whenever we are using middleware software, then we want to send our data from Salesforce to external system, then we will just go on to use workflow outbound message. Any questions or any confusion here? Any questions or any confusion? Now we are clear, right? Why we are going to use middleware? So we are making two applications, source application and a destination application. We are making as a loosely coupling. What do you mean by loosely coupling? Tomorrow they are trying to changing the destination application. There is impact, any impact on the source system? No. So because of both systems are connected to the middleware, they did not directly connect it. Suppose we are not using middleware, then they will connect it directly. That time there is an impact. That is called tightly coupling. That is called tightly coupling. Now coming into our workflow outbound message. Okay, I'm trying to logging into the Salesforce. Login.salesforce.com. In interview also they will ask you work with the outbound message. Okay, which is scenario you are using outbound message means we have to explain. Two systems are there, in between there is a middleware. That's why we are using outbound message. I will give interview questions. Okay, now coming into our concept. Okay, coming into our concept, we directly switch to the classic version because of there is some issue with the lightning experience. Whenever we are coming with the workflows, whenever we are coming with the workflows. Okay, now here my requirement is I am working with the account object. We are working with the account object is nothing but I am trying to creating one account record. How to create an account record is nothing but go to account to tab, click on this new button, select any record type, click on continue, then it will redirecting into this particular screen. Okay, enter all the mandatory details, enter all the mandatory details. Here we have one active pick list is there, and select the yes and click on the save button, click on the save button. Then my requirement is send these account details to the external system. External system is nothing but any system, it doesn't matter, but in between one middleware tool is there. By using middleware tool, you have to transfer the data from account to the Oracle system. Why we have to send the data? I mean, that is their business requirement. That is their business requirement. They will do their operation in the Oracle system with this account data. Why we have to send me? That is my requirement. With this data, whatever we are trying to creating account record, right? With that data, they will perform their operation in the Oracle system. Our target is send account record information when active is equals to yes to the middleware. From the middleware, it will send to the Oracle system. That is our target. That is our target. So in account object, what is our requirement is in account object. Okay, in account object, while creating account record, while creating account record, if active is equals to yes, then send account record information, account record information to another system. Another system is any system, it doesn't matter. But in between, there is middleware. In between, there is a middleware. There is a middleware. This is for our information. Okay, whenever we will get a requirement, they will not give all this information. I'm trying to creating one account record. So if active is equals to yes, then send these account details to the middleware system. They will give the clear information. Then send this account record to the middleware system. Okay, so here whenever we will get this requirement, first we have to understand, okay, which concept is suitable. Which concept is suitable for this scenario? Workflow outbound concept is suitable. Workflow outbound concept is suitable. Now we want to create one workflow. How to create a workflow? Go to setup. Whether you are in classic version or lightning version, suppose we want to work with metadata. Metadata is nothing but creating objects, fields, or workflows. Always go to setup only. Always go to setup. In the quick find, you have to type it as a workflow. You have to type it as a workflow. You will get workflow rules. You will get workflow rules. Click on the workflow rules. Then it will show all the workflow rules. then it will show all the workflow rules. Suppose you want to create a view based on particular object, means go and create a view. Go and create a view here. So now our requirement is with the account object, right? So we are trying to creating a new rule. Click on this new rule. Click on this new rule, and then it will redirecting into this particular screen. It will show all the objects on which object we are trying to creating our workflow rule. In account object, right? In account object, then click on next button. What is your rule name? Rule name means anything, it doesn't matter, there is no logic. I'm just adding it as a outbound account. Yes, okay, any name, some meaningful name, some meaningful name. Okay, so and now coming into description, on what basis we are trying to creating this workflow rule, means on which requirement, based on which requirement we are trying to creating this workflow rule. So you have to mention that description here. You have to mention that description here, but it is not mandatory. Now coming into evaluation criteria, three evaluation criteria are there, right? Still we are with the first one only, we will discuss with the second one and third one. Okay, so created only. Now coming into a rule criteria. Rule criteria is nothing but two options are there. Criteria are met is there, formula evaluation true is there. We are going with the criteria are met. When we will go with the formula evaluation true, we'll discuss that going forward. So now what is my condition? Account object, in account object, active is there, it's here. Active equals, active equals, this is the operator. Now automatically this lookup icon, it will come here. So because of this is a pick list field, so it will show all the pick list values. No need to write here, no need to write here like yes or no, no need to write. Because of this is a pick list field, right? Automatically this icon it will come. So here our option is yes. Here our option is yes. In account object, while creating an account record, in that record, in that record, if active equals to yes, if active is equals to yes, then click on save and next. Then click on save and next. Then what we are expecting from the system? What we are expecting from the system? Immediately you are expecting from the system, or any period is there? Time period means after 30 minutes, after record created plus after 30 minutes, record created after 3 days. So like that, you want any time period you want, or immediately? I want immediately. Immediately we want. When we will go with the time period means that is based on our client requirement. Okay, so now here we are going with the immediate. See here, new outbound message is there, right? Select the new outbound message, click on this go button. Click on this go button, then it will redirecting into this particular screen. So for this is action, right? This is action, we are trying to creating one outbound message action, right? So any name for action also we should provide a name. Previously when while creating email alert or field update, we provided name, right? Like that, for outbound message action also we have to provide one name. Outbound outbound external system. Okay, external, so any name, it doesn't matter. Okay, so now coming into here, here we have to remember endpoint URL. Endpoint URL here, this is my source system. See here, this is my source system. This is my source system. This is my destination system. That is nothing but in my project we are using Oracle system. Oracle system here we are using in my project. So same case, while creating an account record, if active is equals to yes, then we want to send my account details to the middleware. Here middleware we are using TIPCO, here we are using. Okay, TIPCO here we are using. So now we want to send this account details to the middleware is nothing but first we have to connect to this middleware, right? First we have to connect to this middleware, right? So how to connect means we need a URL. That URL we will call it as a endpoint URL. Endpoint URL. We need one URL. Suppose I want to connect from Salesforce to the TIPCO means we need one URL. Suppose I want to connect to the Salesforce means how we are connecting? By using login.salesforce.com, right? That is the URL, right? From Salesforce, I want to connect to my TIPCO. What is the URL? That URL we will call it as a endpoint URL. Endpoint URL. This is provided by the client. They will only give when while getting a requirement, they will only give the endpoint URL. Okay, so here we have to remember the terminology. Suppose we want to connect from Salesforce to the middleware, we should need endpoint URL. That is client they will provide. And forget about this one. Now we connected to the TIPCO or middleware, we connected. Now once we connected, then what we have to do? I want to send this account details, right? We want to send this account details, right? So which field you want to send? That fields you will just go and select here. That fields you will just go and select and click on the save button. So whenever we are trying to creating an outbound message, what we should need is nothing but we need an endpoint URL. Endpoint URL is nothing but we have to connect to the middleware system, right? Once we connected, then we have to send the data, right? Data means where we are storing the data in the fields, right? That fields only we are trying to sending here. So which field we have to add, it is nothing but that is also based on our client requirement. So select all the fields, then click on the save button. Click on the save button. So here we don't have any middleware setup. That's why we are not able to test this requirement. Then click on this done button. Click on this done button. So now activate this one. Now activate. So while creating an account record, so in that account record, if active equals to yes, then what we are expecting from the system? What action we are trying to expecting from the system? Outbound message. Okay, the information related to outbound message we will find here. Click on this one. Click on this one. See, this is the endpoint URL, and these are the fields which we are trying to sending to the endpoint URL. So this is one action. This is one action. Any question on this one? Any questions?
Yes,
Hey,
sir, I
Ramesh,
have.
Yes.
you can go ahead, Nirmala. That's okay. Okay. So I have a question. When you were trying to create that rule, right? I have also tried that. I don't see this account message active thing in my Salesforce website. I don't
One
see
second.
it.
1 second. Whether it is a standard field or custom field, I will find. Go to
Okay.
view field. It is a custom field. Okay. It is a custom field. Active is a
Okay.
custom. Okay.
Mhm. Okay. So how do you add on these fields?
I will go to account object. Same thing. Go to here. Suppose we will create one field in account object, means the same process. For example, go to here. I will switch it to the lightning experience.
Mhm.
Okay. You are asking how we will create, how we will
The
add that account to the layout,
yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Now I am on this page. So I want to create, first we have to create a field, right? How to create a field? Go to here, edit object, right? Click on
Okay.
this edit object. Click on this edit object. It will automatically go to the account object, right? Go to fields and relationship sections. Click on this new button.
Yeah.
We will
Mm-hmm.
see process. Click on this new button, select the pick list data type, and click on the next. And the next one is active one I am trying to creating. And yes, no, and click on next. Click on next. And field level security we discussed, right? So we are trying to creating a field. This field is available to all profiles. Okay, so my is system administrator profile. Okay, Ramesh, every user should have a profile. So system administrator profile. Click on the next button. See here, we are trying to adding this field to the page layouts, right? Page layout. Then click on the save button. Click on the save button. Now go to the account to tab. How we navigate to the account to tab? Go to app launcher, account. See here, accounts. Click on this new button. Click on this new button. Select the record type. Click on next. You now scroll down here. Scroll down. It will take some time maybe because of this is lightning version, right? Click on this new button. Click on next. Active. Okay. Yeah, here you have to observe active one is there, right? Active one.
Mhm.
SR. Okay.
Okay.
So the same field is available in the classic version. Okay. Now go to switch it to classic version. Switch it to classic version. Go to accounts. Click on this new button. Click on this continue. Now go to your active is available. Active one is available, right? Active one, no, this field is available, right? Okay. Any
Mhm.
confusion or any questions?
No, no, I did not there for the field creation, right? That was my question. Okay, I understood now.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Sure. Yeah, Thanks. And one more observation here. Suppose we are trying to creating one field in classic version, then is it available in the lightning version? Means it is available. Just remember this point. Suppose we are trying to creating one field in the classic version, then that field is available in the lightning version. It is available. Suppose we are trying to creating one field in the lightning version, then it is available in the classic version. Means yes, it is available. What is the difference between the classic version and the lightning version? See here. What is the difference? We are trying to creating one field. Where we are trying to creating one field? In account to table, we are trying to creating field, right? In account object, we are trying to creating field like active one. So we are trying to creating field in account object. Means in account table, we are trying to creating. Now we want to display the data to the user. How we are trying to displaying the data? By using classic version or by using lightning version. But that field is available in the backend, whether it is a classic version or lightning version. What is the difference between classic version and the lightning version is the look and feel. The look and feel. So the same fields are available both in the classic version and the lightning version. Backend, that field is there. In the table level, in the object level, that field is there. Now I want to show the data to the user. How we are showing that data to the user? By using classic version or by using lightning version? Okay, just
So,
remember this.
Ramesh, so if
Yes,
we create anything in the classic version, does it reflects on the lightning version also, right?
yes,
Okay, it's just a appearance,
yes,
nothing else.
appear, nothing
Okay.
else, appearance only. So that's why active and field we create a lightning version, right? So here it is available in the classic version. So
Yeah.
the look and feel in the classic version is like this. Okay, but the
Okay.
same thing, the look and feel in the lightning version is nothing but this one. This is
Okay.
lightning version. Only
Hmm.
appearance it will change. All the fields are available in the backend. Backend is nothing but object level. Okay,
Okay, got it.
thanks. Um, any
Plus,
other question?
yeah, I have another question. When
Yes.
we are trying to do the middleware, when we said that we are trying to give the endpoint, right? Uh, where the endpoint will be configured? Like I know that that endpoint will be client will be giving to us. Do we need to define this endpoint in somewhere to Salesforce to talk to that middleware system?
No, from the Salesforce level, while we are working with the workflow outbound message, no need to configure at the Salesforce end. Directly, we have to use endpoint URL only. Okay,
Okay.
directly we have to use endpoint URL. No need to configure anywhere.
If Salesforce wants to directly talk, okay, this is kind of talking to the middleware system through an flows. Okay,
Middleware. Yeah,
if
middleware.
it is not through flows, and if the Salesforce wants directly to talk to someone else to the third party tool, then do we need to configure anywhere else?
Yeah, configure. We have to configure. So this is whenever we are directly talking in the sense, this is Salesforce system, this is Oracle system. Assume that first we have to configure. So we are connecting with the Oracle, right? That URL at the Salesforce level we have to configure. That is nothing but remote site settings or named credentials. We will talk. Okay, I mean whenever we are trying to discussing development, that time we will discuss. But we have to configure at the Salesforce level. At the
Got it.
Salesforce level,
Okay,
we have to configure. But
sure.
whenever we are using workflow outbound message, no need any setup from our end. Directly client will give that endpoint URL. At the outbound message level, we will just go and add our outbound, I mean endpoint URL plus whatever the fields we want, we will add in that outbound message. Other than that, there is no setup from our end whenever we are working with the workflow outbound message.
Got it. And do we have, sorry, while we are doing the endpoint, would that endpoint to be like, should it be like a worth endpoint, or it should be, because we have a different endpoints, right? Like sometimes it will be like a basic credentials or worth credentials or some other different type, any type of rest assured or any such site of anything it will accept, or do we have
Anything.
any limitations?
There is no limitation. I think it will accept anything.
Okay, got it. Sure. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thanks. So, see, saying whenever we are trying to connecting the endpoint URL, some types of connections are there, like basic authentication mechanism, and I mean password, username, password authentication mechanisms are there. So that types of mechanism that endpoint URL should follow means no, it's a direct any type of endpoint URL it will use, we have to use. So we will not worry about what type of endpoint URL, okay, what type of that endpoint URL. So but whenever we are coming into the programming, that time we will discuss. So whenever we are trying to connecting to the external system, they will how we will connect by using username or password. They are otherwise they will use some security keys. We will discuss that. But now we will use endpoint URL. Okay, that endpoint URL, there is no setup is required from our Salesforce. Directly go to the workflow outbound message, and we have to use endpoint URL. That endpoint URL is provided by the client. Any other questions?
Ramesh garu,
Yes, Mahesh.
for example, I had a company like A,
Mm,
and I'm having clients like X, Y companies are there.
mm,
I'm using Salesforce as software,
mm,
and they are using SAP software.
mm,
If I like to transfer data like accounts from me to SAP in the sense, I can
mm,
use the middleware, right?
mm. Yes, Mahesh.
Middleware. I can use the middleware, right?
We can't use middleware in the sense means it is not like that. Okay,
Hmm.
suppose in future there is no thing like for whenever external system is this one, then we can't use middleware. It is not like that. Basically, why middleware concept came into picture is two systems are there in your case. This is Salesforce system
Hmm.
and this is SAP system. Okay, suppose you are
Hmm.
trying to transferring the data from Salesforce to the SAP. Okay,
Hmm.
tomorrow I mean you are directly sending me. This is our where it will come. Suppose I am trying to connecting two systems, where the problem it will come, because of ours is a Salesforce programming language, right? So the format
Yeah.
is different. Here, SAP programming language, right? That is different, right? So suppose I am trying to sending my data in a Salesforce programming language, then SAP system it will not understand, right? Suppose SAP
Hmm.
wants to send the data from SAP format into Salesforce means my system it will not understand, right? So whenever
Okay.
we are trying to connecting two systems directly, there should be some setup. Okay, first we have to connect, then the second one is which format we want to send the message. All these things we have to consider. Okay, so now you consider all these things. You connected from Salesforce to SAP. You are transferring the data. So later after 1 year or 2 years, your client decided, boss, SAP licenses we are paying more amount, then we will go with some other application. So
Hmm.
whatever data is there in SAP, whatever the things are there in SAP, completely we have to migrate into that application. Assume that they want to migrate Oracle application. Okay, assume that they
Hmm.
want to migrate from SAP because of some licenses issues or some other facilities. Okay, some based on client issues, they are trying to migrating. Yeah, this is scenarios only. Okay, they will completely migrate the system from SAP to Oracle. So while migrating, not only we want to migrate from SAP to Oracle, if the Salesforce system also it will impact, right? So previously we
Hmm.
connect the Oracle. Connecting in the sense means data also we are trying to sending. Previously we are trying to sending in Oracle format like that. Okay, assume that. So now it is SAP. Now it is Oracle, right? Previously we are sending
Hmm.
SAP format. Now it is Oracle, right? So huge impact on source system also, right? Huge impact on the
So,
source system, right? That's why middleware tools came into picture. That's why middleware tools came into picture. Whether we are using workflow outbound message is not, that is different case. Middleware concept, it is a general topic. Suppose two applications are there. They want to make communication between those two applications. Making communication is nothing but we are transferring the data between those two applications. So then they are using middlewares. Why they are using middlewares is nothing but this is the case. Tomorrow they will directly migrate, they will directly making connection. Sometimes tomorrow they will want to change the system. There is a huge impact on the source system and the destination system. That's why middleware tools came into the picture. In this case, what I will do, what my client will do, whenever they are trying to starting the project, boss, we are connecting two systems, right? So in between we will just go and use middleware. There is no direct connection from Salesforce to SAP. We'll go and use middleware. Well, Salesforce will send the data to the middleware. From middleware SAP system, I will connect to the middleware. Tomorrow, suppose they want to change from SAP to Oracle due to some licenses issues or some other issues. Is there any impact in the Salesforce? At the source system level, there is no impact. So that's why middleware concept came into picture. Middleware is a general concept. Two systems are connecting. How they are connecting? They will use middleware or they will not use middleware. Okay, Mahesh.
Okay, okay, Ramesh, sir, thank you. And one more thing, a destination system will be like SAP, for example. By using middleware, we can connect to destination system. For example, they can change from SAP to Salesforce system.
Hmm.
In this sense, means our what is it? Um,
Two-way communication. This is
no,
called two-way communication. You want to suppose you are sending a request from Salesforce to middleware. So middleware, it will transfer the data to SAP, and again SAP will also send the data, right? Same process. It will connect to the middleware. From middleware, it will again send the, Salesforce system, it will connect and it will receive the data. That is your question, right, Mahesh? Or
no, no, Ramesh, sir. At the X point means at X point there will be SAP, right? Destination point.
yes,
Destination
yes.
system will be there, SAP. If they migrate SAP into Salesforce in this sense,
Mm. Then why there is another system completely Salesforce only, right? Suppose they want to
hmm,
completely migrate into Salesforce. So there is no two system,
hmm,
middleware system and another system, right? Okay,
okay, okay,
okay, Mahesh.
okay.
Yeah,
Thank you, Ramesh, sir.
thanks. So then we'll go with another action. Uh, Another action is nothing but last action, that is nothing but a task. Email alert we discuss, field update we discuss, outbound message we discuss, and a task we are going to discuss. This is the last action. Okay, last action. So whenever we are working with the outbound message, what are the things we should need? We should need endpoint URL. Okay, endpoint URL and the fields. Okay, when we will use workflow outbound message, when there is a middleware, when there is a middleware, middleware. Okay, then we will go and use workflow outbound message. Now the last action is nothing but a task. Okay, before going into task, I'm just switching into the lightning experience. Okay, before going into the task, we will just go and search it. Go to app launcher. Suppose I want to create one task record. I want to create one task record. Go to here. Go to app launcher. Task. Task is there. Right? Click on the task. Okay. Click on the task. This is a task. Now go to app launcher and click on, type it as a event. There is no event, I think. Okay, forget about that. Okay. So basically task and event, two objects are there. Task is one object, and event is another object. Task is one object and event is another object. So generally they will use the terminology that is nothing but activities. Sometimes instead of task or instead of event, they will use one terminology. That terminology is nothing but activities. That terminology is nothing but activities. So you go and create activities is nothing but go and create one task record, go and create one event record, go and create one event record. Okay, so general terminology is nothing but activities. Under activities, task object it will come and event object it will come. Now go to here, go to here, setup, go to here, setup, and go to object manager, go to object manager. In the quick find, you have to type it as a activities, activity. See here, it is a standard object, right? Click on this activity, click on fields and relationship sections, click on this fields and relationship section. But here you will get confused. I will show in classic version. Okay, then we will come into the lightning version. I'm just switching into the classic version. Go to here, go to setup, go to setup. In the quick find, you have to type it as a activity. See here, activity. Here, see, Activities is there, right? Activities. Under activities here you have to observe task fields are there, event fields are there, event fields are there. Then activity fields are there. Here you have to observe activity fields are, activity custom fields are there. Activity is a standard object. I mean the terminology they will use it as a activities. Activity means two objects it will come into picture. One is a task and another one is event. One is a task object and another one is event object. But the general terminology they will use it as a activities. General terminology they will use it as a activities. So these are task fields. Click on the task fields. Mean these are the standard fields which is provided by the Salesforce. Which is provided by the Salesforce. Regularly we will use task and event. Regularly we will use task and event. Okay. Now go to here. Task fields. Click on the task fields. Mean these are the standard fields which is provided by the Salesforce. Now coming into here, event fields are there. Click on the event fields. Click on the event fields. These are related to the event object which is provided by the Salesforce. Suppose we want to create one field in activities. Means in activities we want to create, means that field is available both in event and task. What I'm trying to say is the generally they will use one terminology. That terminology is nothing but activities. That terminology is nothing but activities. Go to here, activities. Generally they will use one terminology that is nothing but activities. Under activities we have two standard object. One is task object, one is task object and another one is event object. This is a task and this is event. Okay, this is event. Now what I'm trying to say is under task some fields are there which is provided by the Salesforce. Under task some fields are there, that is nothing but standard fields. That is nothing but standard fields. Under event some fields are there, that is nothing but standard fields. That is nothing but standard fields. The under event some fields are there provided by the Salesforce, that is nothing but standard fields. Suppose we will create, go to activities. Here you have to observe activities fields are there, activity custom fields are there, activity custom fields are there. Suppose we will create any field here. Go to activity custom field. Click on this new button. Then this field is available on task and event. On task and event. Suppose we want to create any custom field. So go to activities and we'll just go and create one field here. Then this field is available here and here. In task object it is available and in event object it is available. Now switch to the lightning experience. Switch to the lightning experience. Now go to setup. We want to work with the object, right? Go to setup. Go to setup. First we will go with the task. Go to object manager. And in the quick find we have to type it as a task. See, task object is there, right? This is a standard object. Click on this one and go to fields and relationship sections. See here you have to observe these are the fields which are related to task object. And here you have to observe there is no new button. There is no new button. Suppose we want to create one field in the task object, then where we have to create? In activities we have to create. In activities we have to create. So task is a standard object. Some fields are automatically provided by the Salesforce. Now coming into your object manager, in the quick find you have to type it as a event. See, event is there, right? Event is another standard object, right? Click on the event. Now go to fields and relationship sections. See, these are the fields which is provided by the Salesforce. See, there is no new button. In previously you observed, suppose I will open account object. Suppose we want to create a custom field. Yes, new button is there. But in the task and event object, there is no new button. There is no new button. Suppose we want to create a new field, then we have to go to the activities and we have to create. Then that field is available on both task and event. Both task and event. Suppose I want to create one field in task object. This is my requirement. Then where we have to create? Go to object manager. In the go to quick find, we have to type it as activities. Activity. Click on the activity. Go to fields and relationship sections. See, new button is there, right? Click on this new button. Click on this new button. Now go to here. Any type text. Click on next and enter the details. Same process. Test info. Enter and click on next. Click on next and click on next. Finally try to save this one. Suppose we want to create a field in the task. There is no option directly. We have to go to the task and we have to create. We have to go to the activities and we have to create. Suppose we want to create a field in event. So there is no option. You have to create, you should create in activities. Then that field is available in both under task event. So finally, what is an activities? Activity is nothing but it is a combination of two standard object. One is nothing but a task and another one is nothing but event. Okay, task is having their own fields, event is having their own fields which is provided by the Salesforce. Suppose we want to create any custom fields, then you have to go to activities and you have to create, and you have to create these fields. Okay, then why, what is the purpose of activities? What is the purpose of activity is nothing but task is nothing but we are assigning some work to the sales representative. Okay, suppose I am trying to creating one account record. Once account record has been created, then I will notify one sales representative. Sales representative is nothing but is a user. I will assign to the sales representative. Boss, we created one account, we have to communicate with the customer. What are the things he required? You have to follow up the customer. So I will, how we are going to assign this type of work in the Salesforce is nothing but we will just go and create a task. We will just go and create a task. One second. We will just go and create a task. Okay, we will just go and create a task. So we will see one thing. Now go to here, go to classic version. Otherwise we will see into the lightning version only. Go to here, lightning version only. I'm trying to creating anyone. Go to leads, click on lead, click on new lead record, click on this next button. We will just go and enter all the mandatory details here, all the mandatory details here, and click on the save button. Once click on the save button, lead record has created, right? Once lead record has created, one second, here there are no relate. Here you have to observe new task is there, right? New event is there, right? So my requirement is, suppose you are trying to creating a lead record, or suppose you are trying to creating an account record, suppose you are trying to creating one opportunity record, then you have to assign one task to the sales representative. You have to follow with that particular customer. You have to follow with that particular customer. So how we are going to create a task is nothing but directly we will just go and create, or by using workflows also we will go and create. By using workflow also we will just go and create. By using workflow also we will just go and create. Then coming into event, what do you mean by event is nothing but we are trying to scheduling a meeting. We are trying to scheduling a meeting which is related to this particular record, which are related to this particular record. Event is nothing but we are trying to scheduling meetings. Meetings is nothing but not like team meetings and not like that, which are related to this particular record, which are related to this particular record. Task is nothing but I am trying to assigning one work to the sales representative. Boss, we created one lead record. Then you have to follow up that particular customer, whether he is interested or not. Whether he is interested or not. How we will assign? I will just go and click on the new task. See, we'll just go and enter all the details here. We'll just go and enter all these details. So, and who is the sales representative to this is the sales representative. I mean, assigned is to sales representative. What is the status? Not started. All these details we will fill and click on the save button. Then we are trying to creating a task record here. Manually, we are trying to creating a task record and we are assigning to the sales representative. Then the sales representative will automatically receive one notification. Yes, one task is assigned for me. Then I have to follow this particular customer. Event is nothing but it is related to the meetings. We have to schedule meetings that is related to this particular record, that is related to this particular record. Now coming into workflows, by using workflow we will create a task automatically. Here how we are trying to creating a task by using manually, right? I will go to new task, enter all these details and click on the save button, right? New event, how we are trying to creating, I will go to a new event, enter all these details and click on the save button, right? We are trying to creating manually, right? But by using workflow rule we will create task only, not event. Task only. My requirement is I am trying to creating one opportunity record. Go to here, click on this new button. Okay, click on this new button, select any one of the record type. and stage is equals to needs analysis. I am trying to creating one opportunity record. While creating an opportunity record, if stage is equals to needs analysis and click on the save button, then my requirement is create a task automatically and assign this task to particular sales representative. That is my requirement. That is my requirement. I will create one workflow rule. Then you have any questions, we'll discuss how to create a workflow rule. We are navigating to the classic version. Go to here, switch it to Salesforce Classic, go to setup, in quick find, workflow, workflow rules, click on new rule, and which object we are working, go to here, task, right? See here, go to here, sorry, not task, right? And which object we are working, with the opportunity object, right? What is my requirement? Whenever we are trying to creating one opportunity record only, right? Whenever we are trying to creating an opportunity record, if stage is equal to value proposition, then what we are expecting from the system, then create a task automatically. Then where will write our workflow condition? Opportunity object only, right? So go to here, we will just go and select opportunity, click on the next button, and task creation, based on stage. So what is my condition created? Evaluation criteria is nothing but created. Criteria are met here. What is our actual condition? Means record condition. Stage equals stage is equals to value proposition, right? Value proposition. Click on save and next. Click on save and next. Then what we are expecting from the system? We are expecting a task. See here, task. Click on this go button. So whom we are trying to assigning this task? I am trying to assigning this task to Akira Mohit. So subject, what is the subject? Please communicate with the customer. Okay. Due date, when this task should create. Rule trigger date 0 means immediately this task it should create. Okay. So I am trying to creating a task. Whom we want to assign the task is nothing but to Akira Mohit we want to assign a task. Okay. So what is the subject line? And what is the unique name? I mean, it will automatically come due date me rule trigger date plus 0. It is generally we will use plus 0 only. Try to save this one. Now click on this done. Now activate this one. So here, what is my requirement in opportunity object? When we are trying to creating one opportunity record, if stage is equals to value proposition, then what we are expecting from the system? You have to create a task automatically and assign that task to Akira Mohit. Now we will just go on to test this one. How to test this one? Go to opportunities, click on this new button, click on this continue, and enter all the mandatory details. Our condition is stage is equal to value proposition, right? So now click on the save button. Click on the save button, the system automatically verify any workflow rules are there in opportunity object. If workflow rules are there means workflow rule, yes, this is a workflow rule. It will not verify directly action. First of all, it will verify any workflow rules are there, any conditions are there in opportunity object. Yes, conditions are there, then it will perform the associated action. So what is our target? Our target is activity. See here, activity, it is automatically created, right? Please communicate with this customer. This is nothing but a task. Due date, what is status, whom it is assigned to Akira Mohit, right? Akira Mohit. So by using workflow rule, we will create a task automatically. Where we will find those tasks is nothing but under activities. Suppose you want to create a task manually, go to here, click on this new task. You have to enter all these details. Suppose you want to create a event is nothing but event means we will create manually only. Go to here, click on event, click on event and enter all these details. Click on the save button. Events is nothing but this is related to the meetings. We schedule a meeting with this particular customer. So that type of activities are available here. That is nothing but event. But by using workflow we will create only task. And you have to observe one more thing. For example, this customer worked with the task. Then what he will do? He will go to here, You will change the status to completed, right? Try to save this one. Try to save this one. Now scroll down here. See, it is not under open activities. It will come under activity history. It will come under activity history means it is closed. Task has been closed. That's why it is not open. Suppose go to here, new task. I'm trying to creating one more task. So now go to here, try to save this one. This task is working. That's why it is in open mode only, means under in open activities only. If task is completed, then how we will make the task as a completed? Status is equal to completed. Status is a standard field. Go to task and you have to make it as a completed, then automatically it will come under activity history. And one more thing, by just looking into this one, you have to identify whether it is a task or it is a event. Task checkbox is true means this is a task. It is task checkbox is not true, that is nothing but a event. That is nothing but a event. Okay. And one more final point is, suppose I am trying to creating a task. Go to here, new task. I am trying to creating a task to one user. I am trying to assigning one task to the user. Where that user will find one task is assigned for me. Some place is there, right? Some place is there, right? Where that user will find some task is assigned for me. Means go to home tab. Go to the home tab. Scroll down here. Here you have to observe my task are there, right? My task. Suppose any task is assigned for me, then automatically those tasks are available at the home page under my task. So any task is assigned to the sales representative. Then how sales representative know? One opportunity record is created. For that opportunity record, one task is assigned for me. Then where he will find that information? So whenever he log in into the system, he will go to the home page and he will find. Okay, go to my task. Go to my task and he will find from my task. Okay, and this is the information related to the task. In the next session also we will discuss some more information on the workflows, and tomorrow we will close our workflow topic. Before that, you have any questions for
This
coming into
conference
the
will now
lightning?
be recorded.
Coming into the lightning, where we will find the task and event is nothing but like this, under not related list. Under not related list, in the classic version, under related list we will find activities. Go to here, under related, these are nothing but related list, right? This is a parent record, these are nothing but related list, right? But whenever we are coming into the lightning version, task and event, where we will find? Go to here, for example, go to lead. Here you have to observe where we are finding the task and event. Click on the related. You click on the related. Click on the related. Here you have to observe task and event are there, right? They will make setup like this. In the lightning version, instead of under relate under like this, they will make setup like this. Task and event we will find separately like this. Finally, the concept is same. Finally, the concept is same. So in the classic version, where we will find the task and event is nothing but under activities. But in the lightning version, where we will find the activities is nothing but that is based on the record page. Suppose I want to add my task and event here. Yes, I will just go and add it. We discuss about the record page, right? So the task and the event wherever we want, you will just go and add it. Okay. And